Okay, so this is a payhip dashboard, and to actually blog, all you do is click store. Personally, I feel like they should have a different section for this, but that's what it is. You click store, and this is where you're going to see the blog posts. Okay, and when you haven't got a blog at all, you do the same thing. You click store, and then you'll find where it says blog post, and you can create a blog from there. So for me, I've already got blog posts in this particular page, and so I don't need to create another one. But it says add new blog post, and all you do is just click add new blog post, which is pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. The only thing that can be a little bit tricky with this is, and I'm going to do another video on this, is to, once the blog is set up, when you go to the actual page of, your front page, your home page, you just don't see the blog at all. And it's a bit frustrating if you don't really know what to do. So you're going to need to put the link of the blog in the navigation bar, and it's something you have to do manually. It doesn't happen automatically. So I'm going to create a separate video about that, and when I've done that, I'll leave that link in the description so that you can check it out. But I haven't done that video yet. But for now, it is just showing you that this is where the blog section is, and this is how you create your first blog. So all you do is you go in and you create your first blog. And when you create your first blog, your blog post will be there. And then later on, you can go in and customize your page and customize the layout of the page and all of that, because there's many different sort of features that you have to get used to. I'm going to tell you that it's nowhere near as complicated as WordPress, in my opinion. A lot of people use WordPress. Back in the day, that was the be-all and end-all of blogging, was WordPress. But now you can use Squarespace and Wix and so many other platforms you can use to blog. So it's not really that necessary to get used to like really, really difficult functions. It's not that difficult on payhip, but where the difficulty lies is in placing the link in the navigation bar and also customizing and all of that. I'll make a separate video about those things, but I just wanted to show you that this is where the blog actually is. And so obviously you just add your blog post to it. You do all the things you want to do, bold, italic, underline, and all of that. And you've got the different types of headings that you can add your image and things like that. But there's another section down here where you can upload an image, and where it says upload image, you have to upload an image for the thumbnail that's going to show on the list of blogs that are there. So yes, you can add an image inside the actual article itself, but that's not the image that's going to show. The image that's going to show is the image that you upload underneath. So you have to go in and upload that image. Okay, obviously you can make it visible or invisible. Another thing that's a little bit annoying is that when you create different categories, look, I've just got one. I've got the news category, and if you wanted to change the categories and add different categories, you'd have to create a new blog. And what that essentially means is that it's a brand new blog, and it's a separate blog from the main blog. So it means that you can have multiple blogs in payhip. You can have one about news, you can have one about, personal development, whatever it is, but it's not coming together as one blog in itself. It's coming together as separate blogs, which I think is quite strange. But what I've done is I've just categorized it under one thing. Or you could even just put general content or something like that instead of calling it news. And so that would mean that you don't have to really categorize it, because at the end of the day, when it comes to Google search, it's going to pick it up based on the keywords in the title, the keywords in the article, and also you're going to be sharing it on platforms such as Flipboard and Many Stories and Twitter if you're on Twitter, Threads if you're on Threads, Substack even if you're on Substack, interweaving them into your Medium articles, interweaving them into your blogs on your other platforms, sharing it on your community wall on YouTube, sharing it in your description section in YouTube as well. So where it says advanced options, you'd think that there's going to be a lot of options, but there isn't. It just says include author name, so you can click that and it will include the name of the person who's written it, and that's it really, to be honest. It's quite basic when it comes to actually creating the blog posts and stuff itself. There's nothing really to it. Where you're going to find a little bit of a kind of, a few complexities here and there is when you're customizing everything and when you're putting the link of the blog in the navigation bar and everything. But I'm going to make a separate piece of content about that, because I feel like it needs a video in itself, but I just wanted to show you that that is where the blog is, because a lot of people don't know, and I've spoken to people that are on payhip as well, and they say they didn't even know that this thing existed. And the reason why they didn't know is because it's not prominent. They don't explain to you, like, they don't make it obvious that there is an option like that. And you'll also notice that you're going to beat half the competition that are on payhip if you start blogging regularly, because most people are not blogging on payhip. Most people are using payhip as a storefront. They leave and they promote it outside payhip, but they're not realizing that if you were to create content within the payhip ecosystem, you are going to gain priority in terms of search, not just from Google, but search within payhip as well. They're going to like you because you're promoting their platform for them. You're actually building content that is going into search on Google search. And if you create authoritative content, some of your content is going to go into ChatGPT and Google Gemini and other AI platforms, and it's going to help payhip even move up the ranks when it comes to domain authority. So payhip are going to love it, even to a point where if you create content teaching people how to use payhip within the payhip ecosystem itself, my goodness, trust and do believe payhip themselves are going to promote your content. Payhip themselves are going to share your content on Twitter. They are going to be talking about it and saying that this particular person is teaching people how to use payhip. Go and check out their content. And another double whammy is to create an entire e-guide or course that teaches people how to use payhip and how to make money from payhip and how to maximize payhip. And I can guarantee you're going to make $1 million if you do this. I did something very similar with Gumroad. I haven't done it with payhip yet, but I'm giving you this idea. It doesn't matter to me if you use it, because most of the time you'll find that people hear ideas but they don't use them. So I don't mind giving out ideas for free. But I did this on Gumroad and I made a ton of money. And you can do the same thing with other platforms. You can do it with Medium, you can do it with YouTube, you can do it with TikTok, you can do it with... So really learn how to use platforms and teach people how to do it. And trust and do believe you are going to make money. Big money. All right, I'm going to leave this video here, but please do subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post up videos. Another thing I wanted to say is that we are gearing up to do our Tsunami content challenge, which is starting on November 1st. It's going to be really cool. There's going to be a cash prize at the end of it as well, and so you can join with that. I'm going to leave a link in the description for that. Secondly, we have our 90-day accelerator, which is going to start on January the 3rd. So if you're interested in the 90-day going all in to start earning 10k a month in 90 days, then that's something that you could also take up as well. We have our payhip done for you, which is going to completely end by the end of the year. We are no longer be offering done for you services. So if you're interested in that, then definitely grab that before we change it. We also have the content buy-in, which is something that is just amazing, and a lot of people don't really know about it, but you can go and check in the description to find out more about it. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.